Marlene Motivates, and I am your life coach. How are you guys doing? Happy Sunday to everyone. Shout out to all of my mods. Appreciate every single one of you. Hey, Leonica, how are you doing? Happy Sunday. So, I wanted to come in on this spiritual Sunday, something to support our spirit and to encourage us. And I want to give you something to think about. Hey, Real Odds and Evens, how are you? Good to see you. So, I wanted to come in and to talk about this topic. Bless those that curse you, or bless those that hate you. Um, I think that this is one of the hardest things when people are evil or mean or try to go against you. It's one of the hardest things in this life to basically turn the other cheek, right? And that is essentially what you would be doing, is turning the other cheek and to, not let them, get to you, which is so hard. And I'm just speaking for myself. When someone does something to me, the first thing as a human being is to want to get revenge, want to get at them. And it's not because, you couldn't do the right thing. We always have choices to make in this life. You can make a choice to be happy. You can make a choice to be mean. You can make a choice to not deal with people. And you also can make a choice to turn the other cheek. You can make a choice to pronounce blessings on other people. And I am going to be talking to you based on the scripture at Luke 6:28. And it says, in part, let me see. It says, bless those that curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. Now, come on now, everybody. Do you know people who are enemies of you? People who absolutely cannot stand you? Hmm. Are you prone to wanting to pray for your enemies? Pray for your haters? Pray for the people who are against you? No, most likely not. This is a elevated thinking. This is a positive thinking to pray for somebody who is against you. What I say all the time is that you never know what somebody is going through. You never know what somebody is dealing with. And it may be you are the only one that is going to show love instead of showing aggression. You may be the one that may have to show, this is what true Christian love means. This is what true spirituality is. And for me, that is what I define spirituality to be, is in the times where I want to do one of these, the times where you want to cuss people out, the times where you want to say something nasty and you bite your tongue, or you choose to walk away, or you choose to say, you know what? I'm not going to respond. No response is the best response. Yeah, during those times where you feel like jumping at somebody, lunging at someone and just choking them or beating somebody up, okay? This is the time where you show who you really are inside. I always say that you show who you are when someone makes you angry. For me, that's always a criteria that I find out how patient somebody is, how kind, how loving, and how spiritually minded somebody actually is. If somebody always talks about faith and love and maturity and who they are. But the moment somebody makes them mad, they're the first person to cuss somebody out. They're the first person to go and, stab someone in the back, not literally, but with their words, with their disloyalty. So you truly find out who somebody is in the midst of your anger, okay? In the midst of a disagreement, okay? So let's talk about this for a little bit. There are a lot of times where we could be feeling all of this wrath and this anger about somebody in our life, and we may not even know all the details. Well, I know me as a woman, I have jumped to the conclusion so many times thinking that I know, listening to what other people tell me and getting myself all the way there. They call that being on 10. You put yourself on level 10 and you are so irate. Come to find out everything that you thought, everything that was told to you is not even that way. The situation, the setup, a person could have lied to you or only told you part of the story and not accepted any accountability or responsibility for what they have done. Hi, Hassan. How are you? Welcome. And not assumed any responsibility for what they have done. See, what we have to learn, motivators family, is the time to show love is in a trial. The time to show love is in a disagreement. The time to show love is when someone is against you. Now, I know that that may sound like something ridiculous. Like, how can you show love when someone is against you, when someone is angry, when someone is jealous? That is the main time that you show your faith. That's the main time you show what you're made of. That is when you show who you are. It shows your maturity. It shows your healing. It shows your positive mindset. It shows your focus. It shows really what you are made up of, okay? So let's get into talking about this because we're only going to be on here about 30 minutes or so. So let's get into talking about this. Bless those who hate you. Have you ever had someone really and truly hate you, like literally hate you, and it's really for no reason at all? Because you haven't done anything to them. You haven't done anything to harm that person or hate them. Sometimes people just hate you for no reason at all. They hate you, and you have done nothing to them. Nothing. You've done absolutely nothing to them, but yet they hate you. See, these are the individuals that you have to pray for your enemies. And until you get in that situation and you start to pray for people who are against you, you really don't get it. I found so much peace. And a person who hates you, that has allowed me to not hate them. It has allowed me to maybe open up my eyes to other things. Maybe they have this going on. Maybe they have a little bit of some mental illness. Maybe they need support, okay? Sometimes when people are against you and hate you and judge you, it's because of their own issues that they have inside. Yeah. As humans, as adults, we each carry pain. We each carry trauma. It's just that some people learn to deal with their pain and trauma in a better way. See, I missed some comments. Real Odds and Evens says, tell me about it. Yes. Appreciate you being here, Hassan. Yes, Real Odds and Evens says, it's a shame that they are that way, especially if it's for no reason at all, And I know that it's happened to so many women. I know that it's happened to so many men. So some people actually will go to the extent to try to bring you physical harm. That's how much they hate you. Sometimes it gets to be where people try to ruin your reputation because of one reason or the other. Maybe you have the life that they want, Maybe because of your talents, maybe your skill set, your mindset, your focus. Sometimes it's happened to me that people hate me because of my peace. Okay. When they can't get you to change and to be angry. Some people's like, how come I can't make you upset? Because I possess peace. See, and that's one of the things that I had to learn as a woman, as a spiritual woman, I should say. I had to learn that peace had to start with me. You can't wait for a situation to make you become peaceable. You have to first, you have to reside in there. You have to be in that space to be at peace. So when things come in your life to try to disrupt your peace, what do? What do you do when people try to come against you and your peace? Discard it, remove it. You pray for those individuals. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. So, one of the things that is important in talking about praying for your enemies, it's so important for us to remember that when we talk about we bless those that curse us, we pray for those that may have some issues going on, and the one that tries to bring us physical harm, you know it means so much to another individual when they look at you, like I said, and they try to break you. Sometimes people try to break you down because they want to see how strong you are. And some people will literally attack you to see if they can get a rise out of you, if they can get you angry, if they can get you to go back and forth with them. And when they can't, most of the time, they leave you alone. That's why I like to say no response is the best response. There are times that you just need to just don't even respond. Some things is just not even worth a reply from some individuals because they don't come in peace. They don't come in love. They come in anger and hatred, and they're looking for one little reason, one little thing to say to you so that they can go back and forth with you. They want that exchange of energy. Don't give it to them. Keep your peace, okay? Well, bless those that curse you. It really means to respond to harm with kindness. We're going to pause right there. When someone is cursing you, maybe cursing your family, cursing you, speaking over your life and saying you're this and you're that, and that's not who you are. The best response to that is to respond with kindness. Now, how do we do that? How do you respond with kindness? Somebody cusses you out and you tell them, may God richly bless you. How do you do that? Because first, it has to reside with you. First, you have to have peace. And I didn't understand that part until I learned to love myself, until I had my own spiritual relationship, until I had my own relationship with God. I couldn't speak over peace. I couldn't speak blessings over other people. I couldn't, say whatever they need. Help them, God, because I can't do it. We are flesh and blood. There's certain things that we can't do as human beings. We can't take over people's pain. We don't know a person's situation. And I try my best in the moments like that when somebody is saying something to me really nasty. I try to put my mind not in the space that I'm at. I always say, I wonder what that person is going through. I wonder what their home life is like. See, when you shift your mindset that it's not about this moment, it's not about right here and right now, it's about helping another human being, because whether other people want to admit it or not, we are all brothers and sisters. We all came from the same mother and father, Adam and Eve. We all did. But a lot of people forget. A lot of people forget that we are all humans. We are all brothers and sisters because have so much pain in their heart. They're so angry. They have so many issues. And that is the reason. When someone comes at you with some negativity, sometimes it's best to step away. And I will say a silent prayer. I'll say a prayer in my heart. I don't know what they're going through, God. I don't know why they're upset and angry. I don't know why they're venting and all of these things, but help them with whatever they need, okay? Because I can't give it to them. And I don't want to respond in hatred and anger. I don't want to go back and forth. I don't want to be, no arguments. I want for them to see that it's only peace. I'm not trying to attack you. Sometimes people have these big issues going on in their life, and they will just say something nasty at the first person that they encounter, the first person that they think, whatever, in some angry, like, have you ever met people and they come at you in a rage and you're like, hold on there. May peace be with you. No, no, no. Don't do it, okay? Don't bring that over here. Don't bring that energy. So one of the things, and that's a learned behavior. I had to learn, because the first thing is automatic as a human being. Somebody does something and you gonna, what you want to do? You want to fight? Or you want to say something slick with your mouth. But I had to learn that the more that I got in tune, the stronger my relationship got with God, the more that I learned me, and the more I learned that my peace of mind is important, and that nobody can't make me respond in a negative way. Nobody can. Nobody can make you respond negatively. You're the one that makes the choice to respond negatively, and that is the maturity. That's the elevation. That's an elevated mindset, and that is a person who takes time before you respond. And no matter how, every year that gets added to my life, every year that I'm here on this earth, I think about those things. I think about how much that I've grown as a woman, how I have formed my relationship with God. And unfortunately, some people don't have those type of relationships. They're not spiritually minded people. They only think about themselves. And you have to show sometimes that you have to show the love of God from your actions. Mhm. Because people have asked me before, how can you respond in kindness when they did that? How can you turn the other cheek? How can you still deal with that person? Because the love of God resides with me. The love of God is with me. I'm his child just like they are his child, but sometimes other people need a reminder, you know? And when you say things like that, I don't know what you're going through today, but I hope it gets better. That's like, what did you say? After what I said to you? Yeah, no matter what. You know, God loves us even when we do wrong. He loves us when we do right. We're all imperfect people. So you being that beacon of light, you being the person to do the right thing in all situations. Hey Julie, how are you doing? Appreciate you being here. Um, you being the one that, show by your example. And that's one of the things that I had to learn as I grew up, as I matured. Thank you so much for the likes, everybody. I really appreciate you all. I had to learn that as I grew up, as I matured, um, that you have to make better moves. Hi, Karen. How are you doing? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're good, Julie. How's everybody in the chat doing on this Sunday? Hope everybody had an amazing Sunday. But that's one of the things that I had to learn in my walk with Christ, in my walk with God, in my own spirituality and maturity. For me, it's more than just reading. It's more than just saying you have faith. When in real time, how can we display what we believe? See, that's the elevation. That's the growth right there. because a lot of people, they profess to love God, they profess to do right thing, they profess to be spiritual, but the first thing that they encounter, what are they doing? Screaming, cussing people. And one of the things that I had to learn is when I get upset, I had to learn to, you got to take a deep breath sometimes, because if you respond the first moment that somebody does something, you're going to do the wrong thing. You're going to say the wrong thing. You're going to go all the way off. Hi, Miss 702. How are you doing? Love you more. Um, Happy Sunday. I hope you're doing great. And that's something that I had to learn, that part. I had to learn that when I am upset and I am angry, I have to talk to myself. Okay, Marlene, take a deep breath. Don't respond. Walk away. Sometimes that's the best thing that you can do. And if you can't walk away, you don't have to respond. Even if a person is screaming, I learned sometimes is I just check out mentally. I start thinking about something. And I learned this exercise when I was in therapy, that when someone tests you, you need to have this space, this place that you allow your mind to go, you know? Oh, I'm still growing too. I'm still growing. I think everybody should be growing, but I have this place that when I'm upset, when someone angers me, when someone makes my blood boil, I have this peaceful space that I call, that is my secret, my space where I reside with God. Nobody can get into those gates. And I think about the peaceful conditions like a field of flowers, and there's peace, and it's just a nice breeze, and it's blue sky and fluffy clouds, and I just see myself walking through that space, and my blood pressure goes down. And then I can keep my calm. You know, everybody has to have something that centers them and that balances them. And that is the space that I had to learn, because if you guys don't know this about me, I used to have a major anger problem. Like, uh, it was terrible. Like, people don't believe me because of the person that I've transformed into, but I used to be a person like screaming all the time, cussing out people, always angry, mad at everybody. But the thing about it is, I've always had faith. I've always known God. I've always loved God, but he wasn't real to me. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation. You can have your spiritual relationship, but is it real to you? Is the love of God real to you? Is your faith real? And that application is taking what you think, taking what you believe, taking what you know, and allowing that to change you and make you into a better human being, a better woman, a better person who professes faith. See, it's easy to talk about faith, right? And a lot of people will say, "Oh yeah, I have faith. Oh yeah, I'm spiritual. Oh yeah, I love God." Okay. But in the midst of your test, how spiritual are you? Hmm? See, that is when you need to make that immediate free fall, that trust, that falling forward is like letting go, and falling into, God's wings, or him having his uh what is it, like a net that you can free fall. I call that free falling into my faith, in those moments where I was like, I don't know, but I'm letting it go, and I'm gonna let you do it. Okay. I'm not gonna respond. I'm not gonna do it. Mm-mm. Okay, I'm gonna let you handle this right now. So I'm just gonna be over here and mind my own business, and I'll let you handle this. And that is what real trust, real love, real faith really is. When you're going through all of these things with people. Um, Joyful Julie says, I have a secret place too, Marlene. Wonderful. I have not heard many people talk about having a secret place, a space that you go to anytime if you're really angry, or someone, I always see myself, and it's a field with all kind the most beautiful flowers, and it's such a peaceful space. It's quiet, and that is me in the calm. It's me choosing to put my mind in that space of calm. And no, see, people can't take that away from you. And that is called transfer of power. You just transfer the power because where negativity doesn't reside, it flees, it goes away until you learn to say, nope, no negativity, no devil, no evil, no wicked. It doesn't reside here. So go away, go away. Okay. And at the same time, send a blessing for whoever is against you. I'll tell you, it has happened to me before. People who have been an enemy of me, not liking me, turned out to turn into a really great friend, a really great relationship later on. Sometimes people will look at you and misunderstand you, judge you for some reason, don't like you because of one reason or the other. And when people really get to know you, they'll find out you're quite a good person, but sometimes people don't give you the opportunity. But one thing that I want to say about this discussion is to not let people who are angry, upset, I call them lost individuals, eh, somebody who has lost their way. And I think everybody at some period of time in their life gets lost. And this is when you can help another brother or sister. This is when you can help another human being. Show them, okay, right now, I know you're upset for some reason, you're angered. I don't know what I've done to you, you know, but there's peace here, you know. That is shifting the energy in the room. That's shifting your power. That is showing your faith in action. And I love that. I love that you can affect other people in a positive way. And with all of the bad things going on in this world, you making a choice to be positive, to help somebody, to pray for somebody, to be supportive, to empower another person's mind. When someone says something negative to you and you say, bless you, do you know how that shifts the room? When somebody is all upset, and you don't say anything and you stay calm, do you know what that does? See, that is your faith in action. That is a person who knows and has actually, applied love in their life. Because for me, that's all that, spirituality is all about. It's about love. Learning to love yourself, learning to love others, and learning to care for one another. But unfortunately, some people come from some situations they don't have trusting people in their lives. They've been hurt or they are hurting. They're going through a situation. Maybe they're really sad. They're lonely. They're really stressed out. You never know what another person is going through and dealing with. So when you encounter another human being, what will it take from us to show up with love? Hi, Kelly. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. What would it take from us to show up with love? It doesn't take anything. It doesn't cost anything to say hi. It doesn't cost anything to say, can I do something for you? Can I help you? Even an enemy. I'll tell you that's happened to me so many times in my life where I could have gotten even with somebody. I could have gotten angry. I could have cussed out somebody, and I would have been justified for what they've done and how they treated me. But no, I choose to show up in love. I choose to give back to others. I continue to pray for other people and help people when you can help them. That will show really who you are, as a woman, as a man, as a person who professes to have faith, whatever your faith may be. So I just wanted to say this to everybody is to not give up And I think a lot of people give up so easily when someone is having hateful behaviors, hateful actions. And it's not that you're going to stick around with somebody who hates you, but sometimes give a benefit of the doubt by taking the first step to ask somebody, did I do something to offend you? If I did, I'm sorry. See, an apology, clearing the air, that really shows maturity on your part. We can't get everybody to be on our side and to like us or to love us or to be great friends with us. But what we can do is be mature enough to take ownership and be accountable for what we do. See, that's being a real grown woman, and it's being a real grown man that I'm accountable for me. And if I'm bringing you aggravation and pain, I'm going to work on that and I'm going to do better. See, that's faith in action. That's love in action. That's being a better human being. See, if more people cared about what they did, how they treated, how they talked to another person, I think this world would be such a much better place to live in if more people would think about how will my actions, how will my energy affect the next person I meet and encounter. And if we could show up and show more love, more support, you know, even sometimes just saying hello, a simple smile, I always say that, I don't expect everybody to like me, nor do I want everybody to like me because that would be fake. But it doesn't take anything from us to be cordial. I'll greet everybody, but it doesn't have to go past a greeting unless you feel something. If you feel the energy and it doesn't feel right, then of course you would take your leave. But that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about when we talk about blessing those that curse you. And for some reason, people will hate you. And it just doesn't make some sense sometimes. Why do people hate you when you've done nothing to offend them? You've done nothing to hurt them. And they hate you. They hate you because your looks. They hate you because your talents. They hate you because they hate themselves. They hate you because they're miserable, Real Odds and Evens says, you said the special word accountability. I realize some people can and can't in life, and I can accept that. But they can account for their actions towards others. Isn't that something? Some people are not accountable, but that's not us, right? I know that I have so many motivators family that are really mature and they're grown and they've been through situations, but they can take ownership for themselves because they're a real grown woman. They're a real grown man. And the ones that can't is the ones that you have to pray for. Pray for them to grow up. Pray for them to learn to love themselves. Pray for them to have their own faith. Okay? And for their faith to be applied in their life. Hey, Gio, how are you doing? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Sunday. This message was just so on my heart to talk about this because I'll tell you something, when people say things to me, and don't think because I'm a positive person, I'm a motivator, that I don't want to tell people off. Don't think I don't in my mind want to cuss people out, you know, because I do. I'm a sinner. I make mistakes. I get angry. I have stress. I have situations, but sometimes people will take your kindness for weakness. Just because you are a kind person or you're a motivated person, it doesn't mean you don't get upset, that you don't have things going on. But even with all of that, we have to be the example, okay? And I know that there are lots of times where I don't want to be the positive example. I was like, why am I chosen for this role? Why do I always have to be the good person? I've said it before. Sometimes I don't want to be the good person. I don't want to be the good guy. I don't want to be the mature person. I want to tell people off sometimes because it'll make you feel good. Those times where you want to get some revenge and get back and get even at some people. Yeah, I understand that, but also remember that God knows that too. When you have pledged to have faith, when you have pledged and say, I trust God, it's just that. You don't get to choose when you're going to have faith. If you say, I trust God, I love God, I have my own relationship with God, then in all situations, you can't control it. At all times, you have to profess your faith. And that is the hard thing about being a human being because we're not perfect. And sometimes people do things to us on purpose. Now, I can't really explain how we know that sometimes, but when somebody is doing something against you on purpose. Yes, there are times where people make mistakes, like we all do, and those are the easy ones to forgive and to pray for them and to let it go. But some things, when someone has said something to undermine your credibility, to bring you financial harm, to ruin your reputation. This is the hard time when I forgive them. Like, how can I forgive somebody who is trying to break me or try to bring me down? See, this is when you get into God's word. This is when you get into God's word because it's not just when in the good times, but it's in all times. In all times, you have to have your faith, okay? So you respond to harm with kindness and to pray for the well being of those who mistreat you, even if they are your enemies. Wow. Now, that is a mouthful, okay? That is so hard to do, to respond to harm with kindness and to pray for the well being of those who mistreat you. See, sometimes people may not be well. Hmm? Do you guys understand that? My motivators family understand that sometimes people are not well. There's a lot of people out here who have undiagnosed mental illness. There's a lot of people that have never sought helps, through a therapist and worked on improving all of the pain that they have in their life. See, if it wasn't for that, I'll tell you something. If it wasn't for me taking time out of my life and getting therapy and working on me for everything that I have endured and gone through, and I know so many of my motivators family have gone through so much pain. I know that. Okay. And this is when I try my best to take a deep breath and remember when I used to do things that brought pain and all kinds of things to other people when I wasn't mature, when I wasn't doing what I needed to do. This is where you need to be compassionate. This is where you need to forgive others. And this is where you need to pray for those. And during those times, I like to say, it's just like, God, you know what I'm going through. And I insert the person's name. This person is really getting to me. It's really disrupting my spirit. And I'm asking for you to go in front of my pain. I'm asking for you to go in front of this situation so that I can get some of this weight lifted off of my heart. Have you all ever been through something where somebody has done something to you and it has literally brought you pain in your heart, or your heart feels broken and you can't think, like your mind is completely occupied. It even sometimes becomes an obsession. You become obsessed with the situation, and when is it going to get fixed, and when is it going to get fixed, and why are they doing this to me, and why are they attacking me, and why, and we want to know why. But sometimes that's not for us to know the reason why. See, but God knows. God knows their situation and He knows yours. This is the time where you need to show who you are. Show your maturity, show your personal growth, show your faith in action. See, I like to remind myself of what I have been through, and I remind myself of, remember who you were formerly and when you were angry? Maybe this person is where you were. And this is when you can say, hey, just like people were patient to me when I was immature, when I was angry, when I was unhealed, when I didn't know and love God, and I did all kinds of things and didn't care about the consequences of my actions because I only cared about me. Now I can say, I'm better. And not just I'm better because God was patient. And now is your time to be patient with somebody else. Okay. Hi, the Pinkston family. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Sunday. And thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate this. Boss Life Online says, I have a lot of faith, but I am not perfect. And sometimes I want to get back at people, especially when I don't know what I have done. They don't give a reason, they just hate. Yes. Oh, I know that all too well, Gio. And I think many people do. We all go through something. And it feels like sometimes that people are like literally trying to attack us. A physical attack, emotional attack, or the one that I hate the most is the mind games, trying to make you like you did something to offend them. You've done nothing. You've done nothing but be yourself. And that could be the issue with some people that I had to learn that part. Some people are intimidated. They hate you because you love yourself. They hate you because of your faith. They hate you because of you're beautiful on the inside and the outside. They hate you because of your talents and your gifts. They hate you that they can't break you. They hate you that you're not angry and you're not going back and forth. See, that's maturity. That's healing. That's elevation and that's personal growth. Unfortunately, some people just don't want to be happy because they have not found the happiness and the peace from within. And it's not until you get to the space of finding your own happiness and your own peace before you can, you know, show up that way. And I try my best, just like Gio. I'm not perfect and nobody is, but I try my best these days when someone does something to give people the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Maybe they're having a bad day. You know, I try to give everybody at least one pass. Okay. The second time around, first time is shame on them. The second time is shame on you. So the first time I give you okay, I'll take a few steps back. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But the thing about it is, once you see how somebody is, don't let people use you and abuse you and take advantage of you. And you're supposed to just keep turning the other cheek. You, of course, you forgive people, but you keep people at a distance. And that includes relatives, that includes quote unquote friends, even a person you're in a romantic relationship with. You have to keep forgiving people. If you keep holding things or keep holding account of it, they've done this 6 times and they did this time. Can't do that. I always remind myself is every time, remember how many times you make mistakes, Marlene, in a day? I have to literally remind myself of that when I have a hard time forgiving somebody, when it's hard for me to deal with an individual. I remind myself of remember when you did X, Y, and Z? And you just said, God, I'm so sorry. Forgive me for what I've done. And He did the same thing. You need to apply that to your situation right now and forgive as freely as God does. See, when I learned that part about how freely doesn't God forgive you every day? He sure does. Of so many things, we don't even know sometimes when we offend God. We don't even know, but we do. And at the same time, we want to apply the same thing to other people. See, we tend to think when it comes to us, oh, it should be easy to forgive us. But when it comes to somebody else, now we're like, I don't want to forgive them. But we are expecting, see, it's two sides of the coin. In order to be forgiven, we have to forgive. So, you know, forgive people and either let them go, or forgive people and keep them in your life. That's one of our choices, having free will. We're free to make our own decisions. We're free to have faith, to not have faith. We're free to be mature, or we're free to be immature. But our life is so much better when we are mature, when we are empowered, and we make changes in our life, and we show by our actions that we are a good person and we definitely have faith. Boss Life Online says, I think they forgot to take their meds or something, but it is hurtful when people do you wrong. It is. It's so hurtful, Gio. And one of the things that people just don't realize, everybody is going through something in their life. People are going through some major heavy weights and heavy things in their life. And just sometimes, like, the littlest things can cause me to have a meltdown, especially on certain days. And those are the times where you just have to take a deep breath and go to your secret place where you have calm, and get away and meditate and pray and do the things that you need to do to restore and to reset your mind. Dealing with certain issues, and people who have issues mentally and whatever, you do have to reset your mind. You really do have to reset your mind, and you have to remind yourself of, it's okay. I gave it to God. I literally have to say that out loud sometimes. God, you got to take this from me because I can't handle it. Okay. But I'm going to pray for them. I don't know what they're going through and dealing with, but it can't be me. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to go first. You're going to have to handle the situation. You. I'm just going to keep being me. And that's one of the things that I love about God, is that God doesn't stop being God because people don't believe in him, or people don't have faith, or people don't do the right thing. He stays the same. And I'm learning from God that don't let anybody shift you. Don't allow a person, a situation, an obstacle to change who you are. Do you all hear me? Don't let a person's negativity, drama, jealousy, hatred, lies, mental illness, dysfunction, immaturity, lack of empowerment, lack of discernment, lack of positive energy change you and make you be something that you're not. You you have every right to be you. You have every right to be happy and to have peace. That's your right. Okay? It is. It's your right. Indeed. Um, Real Odds and Evens says, she says, speak on it. Truth and facts. Geo says, well, I am not going to break down. That's in the past, and I will not do it again. Nowadays, not going, no way. And not going back for no one. Not going backwards. We're in this space in our lives where we need to be in the modes of being role models and empowered and good examples, and being healed and happy and at peace. And we have to let other people, like I call it, you got to let other people, fully develop and cook. Some people are still attached to the umbilical cord. They haven't detached and learned how to handle this thing called life. But sometimes just being patient with others, sometimes just saying a prayer, and being a good role model and being a good example. And that's one of the reasons why I say no response is the best response. Because why should you engage with another person that's is immature or toxic or doesn't want to do anything with their life? One thing that I always believe in 100% is show people what you're about. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to say one word. You just get busy, get in action, and the right people will be drawn to you. The right people will support you no matter what people are saying about you, no matter who doesn't like you, no matter what other people have to say about you. The most important thing is, do you like you? Do you love yourself? Are you your own friend? Are you working on your faith? Is your faith in action? Has it been activated? See, I'll tell you something is that we can always talk about how we profess to have faith, but is it active? What does your faith cause you to do? What does your faith cause you to be? Are you happier? Are you healthier? Are you more positive? Are you more calm? See, I know that I can say that the Holy Spirit has become active inside of me. I know that for sure because there's so many times where I want to say something, and these are the times where I check in with my great friends, my mentor, my coach, and my spiritual family when I'm not thinking the right way. See, sometimes we do not think a positive way. We'll be talking about some crazy stuff. Like, I want to get back at them. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then this is the reason why your associates matter so much. This is why it's so important to have good friends that are mature and happy and healed. And they'll be like, they'll listen to you and they'll let you vent and they'll let you get it off your chest. And then they bring you right. Circle back. But you know who you are. And you know better. You're a role model and you're a good example. You're a good person. So you just keep doing the right thing. And you just keep praying for people. And you just keep being positive, and everything else will work out. See? And that's not easy. It's not easy in the midst of the trial and what you're going through to say, bless you, to say, turn the other cheek, to say, I'm not going to make a video about you, because we want to. I know I want to sometimes, especially being on social media. People make me so mad, and I have to grit my teeth sometimes, or I have to take a really deep breath, a deep cleansing breath, as my mentor says. Because if you don't, you'll get on here and be up here and doing one of these, telling somebody off. And we don't want to do that. See, we know better, we are better, and we do better. But it's important to be honest with yourself, okay? Everybody needs some people that they can vent with. Having that safe space that you can vent and talk about what you are going through and dealing with, okay? Boss Life Online says, while they hating, I'm building an empire. Now check that. There you go, Gio. See, and that's what I'm talking about. When you show people who you are, that's one of my amazing mentors taught me that. Show people who you are. And like I said from the beginning, people will always talk about, I have faith and I'm a spiritual person. But what does your faith matter? What does your faith mean if your faith isn't going to support you and help you in your dark moments, your dark hours, your dark thoughts? It's supposed to help elevate that and grow you and say, don't do that. Okay? It's supposed to keep you balanced. It's not supposed to be like you can just discard it and throw it out of the window at any time. No, we need more than that. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to say this. When someone is doing something against you, like in the beginning, I'm going to go back and read what I read. Man, I lost my thought. Okay. Luke 6:28. Bless those that curse you. And this is a biblical commandment that encourages followers to show love and kindness even to those who are mistreating or harming them. This act of blessing involves seeking their well being and praying for their good rather than returning negativity or anger. It's a higher standard of love. It's showing that you have faith. See, faith in action. We have to do more than just talk about faith. And a lot of people talk about that. Oh yeah, I'm a spiritual person. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I am saved. Oh yes. Oh yes, I'm this and I'm that. But let them get upset and what you hear every 3-letter, 4-letter word with all sorts of words coming out of their mouth, you know? I want to say, my faith is my action. My faith is my story. My faith is my energy. My faith is what I do when I'm squeezed, you know? Just like fresh squeezed juice that gets pressed out. What are you going to leave? What is the residual? What is are you going to harvest? What is going to be your energy? What are people going to get out of it? What will be the benefit from your faith? For me, that is what matters. Are you going to benefit others? Are you going to bless others? Are you going to bless yourself by your actions? For me, this is what is important when somebody does something and you're so upset and angry. And it's happened to me so much times on social media, on the job, dealing with your relative, dealing with this person and that person, people who don't even know you, saying all kinds of things out of your mouth. And even especially what hurts is the people who really should know you. And they do things that bring us pain and hurt. But I like to remember and remind myself that they're perfect just they're imperfect just like me. They're a sinner just like I'm a sinner. They fall short just like I fall short. And I got to remind myself just like every day I got somebody who is praying for me, I got to pray for other people too. Hi Keisha, how are you doing? Happy Sunday. Just like I have people who are praying for me, people who I don't even know, people all over the world that are praying for me, the same thing I like to say too. You know, pray for your enemies, pray for your haters. You don't know what they're going through or dealing with. And I know that it sounds strange to say, how can you pray for somebody that is against you? Yeah, it's easy. You know, you can just say, whatever they're going through, maybe they don't have food to eat. Maybe they're homeless. People don't always tell you why they're angry. Maybe they're having this disability, this illness. Maybe they're going through issues in their romantic relationship or with their kids, or they don't have a job, or they're just so stressed out for one reason or the other, or maybe they're just have a lot of unresolved issues. You really never know what somebody is going through. But what does it really take from us as a woman or a man of faith to say, just close our eyes, and just pray? You know, whatever it is that is on your heart to pray for other people, for their sanity. You know, I like to say that's one of my favorite go-tos to say pray for their mental well-being, especially a person maybe their well-being is not in a good space. Maybe some people do need some medication, and some people may need a therapist, and they need a whole bunch of other things. But that's not up to me to judge. You know, I don't want to be judged. And I'm sure other people, nobody wants to be judged. I think every single human being on this earth wants to be loved, wants to be supported, but because of life and challenges, sometimes people just are upset, angry, lonely, miserable, just trying to cope with life. You never know what the next person is going through. And even don't even take it for granted that maybe your kids or your relatives or this person or that person, you may think they're okay and good, and they may not be, because people don't always open up and say what their challenges are. People don't do that. But what does it take for you to just think about somebody you care about and somebody you love, and to just say, I pray for them and I hope they're okay. I hope they feel loved and I hope they feel supported. I say that a lot to so many people, you know, in my heart. I may not say it to them, but in my heart, I hope that they get everything that they need. I hope they get the mental, the physical, the financial, the spiritual support that they need. I don't know what a person is going through, because I know when I was in my darkest hour, I had somebody praying for me when I was broken, when I felt like there was no hope. I thought I was hopeless. I thought nobody cared about me, and I thought nobody loved me, and I said I will never make it through. I had people praying for me. I had people speaking over my life, and maybe you are at the space in your life where you are strong enough to now say a prayer for somebody else. Maybe they don't have the ability because of what they're going through. You know, sometimes when you're in it, when you're in the midst of your trial and your situation, and you feel like it will never rise, you're carrying this heavy weight on your head and your heart, or it's in your spirit like, "Ugh, when will this season or this problem pass? When will it pass?" So, you being in your mode of elevation and personal growth and maturity and spiritual development, can you say a prayer for somebody? I know you can. So, I just wanted to bring these points out because I think it's important for us to each think about another person. See, when we're in it, we see other people and we think sometimes it's a personal attack. It's against me and they hate me. No, no, no. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes when a person could be jealous of who you are and what you have and etc. But other times that has nothing to do with us. We just attribute that. We just believe that they hate us, but sometimes maybe that person is inspired by you. Maybe that person wishes that they were you. So, in those instances, don't you want to be a good role model? For me, this is when it's the display, because this is God in action. This is my faith in action. This is my healing journey, everything that I've gone through and dealt with. So now I can deal with that person in love. See, for me, that is my faith. That is what grows me and purifies me to be who I am today. Every day I always say, purify me, cleanse me of even my thoughts that are not positive and helpful, and help me to grow and to be supportive to not only myself but to be uh, um, a representative for your namesake, because I always remind myself I represent God, so I better show up and do the right thing. And that is the reminder that I need so many times. It's not about me. It's about God and what He has done for me. Has God done something for you? Has God showed up and showed out for you? Well, don't be afraid to be a testimony, to be a mouthpiece. Okay? You know, I think that's one of the best things about this life is when you go through a situation, now I can use my testimony and I can say, God has delivered me. God has given me hope. He has given me a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a tenth. a hundredth, a millionth chance. He has forgiven me over and over again. So why can't I do the same? Yeah, you can do the same. You can display it. You can be what he wants you to be. See, you got to remove yourself from what you want or what you think or what you believe, because a lot of times we're not thinking, we're not believing the right things. And we need to get in the word. We need to display love in action and be what God says we should be. Don't just talk about your faith, be it. See, this is when I love to talk about God. When I talk about how God has transformed me. Boy, I tell you. And I'm grateful for that. And I take that so seriously. God has transformed me. He has helped me. He has healed me. He has fortified me, lifted me up to be who I am today. And I thank God every day. I say, God, you know, I wasn't supposed to be here still. You remember all the times where I tried to take my life? Remember all the times where I was immature and I brought pain to other people? And look at me now. And I said, God, I'm showing up for you. I'm showing up and showing out for you. See, this isn't Marlene. This is the fore gleams. This is the afterflow. This is the, you know, this is the testimony. See, I'm a testimony that God heals. I'm a testimony that there is hope. And some people, just by seeing how you treat them when they do something to you, see, you're testifying to your belief in God. See, a lot of people, that's all they have. They have a belief in God. They believe in him. But what about when someone does something to you? Do you have the faith? Do you have the trust to free fall and let God be the net and let his Holy Spirit maneuver the way? Yeah. Then you have it. Then you have it, brothers and sisters. Then you have it. So show love, show love even when it's hard, even when you're upset, you're angry, and, talk to people one-on-one. Don't think, don't assume, don't judge. Well, I can't say don't judge because we all judge, but try not to judge other people. Unless you've heard it from that person, don't believe everything that you hear, because some people like to make up these grand stories, big, big lies, and it's not true. So make sure you're getting it from the source. Sometimes people don't hate you, dislike you. Is they're only giving you back what you give to them. Oh, well, I stopped talking to you because you stopped talking to me. And there's no bad blood. So try your best to squash it. Sometimes you can't do anything, but maybe sometimes just say, I don't hate you. I just don't like your behaviors. And I'm going to keep praying for you to be helped, to be healed, to be positive, and to have everything that you need. May God open up the storehouses and make you overflow in abundance. See, bless those that curse you. Even when the odds are against you, even when people want to see you fall flat on your face, it can't happen. Because it's happened to me. People have said that to me. You'll never win. But when I say when God has covering over your life, when he has pronounced that you will be great as long as you trust in him, your enemies can't take you down. Your enemies cannot take you down. Do you hear me? Hey, Lovey, how are you? Happy Sunday. I hope you're doing great. Your enemies cannot take you down. No matter how much somebody hates you, no matter what people will say about you, see, God knows you. He knows your heart. He knows what you've been through. He knows your situation. He knows what you're dealing with. So ignore the haters, ignore the jealous people, and keep being you. See, that's important. If more people will learn to love themselves, love the skin that they're in, work on your energy. Be your best. Be at peace. Be your own best friend. See, because I love me some me. And I'm not showing up, showing off. I am talking about I had to do some real work to look at myself and to say, I'm beautiful. I had to do some real work. Do you hear me? Oh, thank you so much for joining Membership Lovey. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I had to do some real work on me to be in the space to say, I love me. I had to put in some work. I had to put in some work to be my own friend. Do you hear me? And people don't understand that part. People don't know the battles that you face on a day-to-day basis. There are so many times where I don't even want to get out of that bed. Do you hear me? I don't want to get out of that bed. I don't want to deal with my issues and my problems, my sadness, my grief that overwhelms me at so many times during the day. But I said, I have to. I got too much people who depend on me. I got too much people who need me. And also never forget, God needs you. He loves you and he calls you friend. Can you imagine being the child of the Most High God? Do you hear me? It's like, what? And sometimes we all need a reminder that we are loved by God. Because I need to be reminded sometimes. I need to be reminded sometimes that I am loved, that I am capable, that I'm favored. See, God has favored you. God has favored me. God reminds me every day that I wake up that there is hope, that he has a path laid out for me, but I have to be empowered and strong enough to walk it. Walk the walk, talk the talk, and ignore everybody else. See, don't worry about who likes and what they're saying. You just keep being great. You just keep elevating and growing. You just keep loving yourself. See, nobody can stop what God has started. And if God has something that he has pronounced over your life, nobody can stop it. Nobody. No matter how much people try. No matter how much people try to break you down, they can't. And I'm getting emotional because I'm thinking about how good God has been to me. And it's my testimony. God has been so good to me. Has God been good to you? He has been so good to me. He has covered me. He has helped me. He has healed me. He has supported me. He has been my friend. He has been my father. He has been my everything when other people have left my life. When I have wanted people to support me and they didn't. When people have talked about me, stabbed me in my back. See, God is he is never changing. He is the same. He is sustainable. He is loyal. God has been so good to me. I hope God has been good to you. I really do. See, sometimes it's people in our life that have not been good to us. See, we expect for certain people to be there and to support us. Hey, James, how are you doing? We expect for people to be there and to support us. We expect that, right? And then they're not. It's like it tears. It's like they tear your heart out your chest. They bring you some sort of pain in your life. Wow. And it's the people that you would never expect, because it's the people who are closest to you are the ones that stab you in the back. Trust and believe. And I don't mean just social media. I'm talking about people you know in real life. Most of the time it's your own siblings, cousins, aunties, friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife that give you the most pain in your life. It's the people that you trust the most that will hurt you the most. That's a message. Has that ever happened to you in your life? The people that you love the most are hurting you the most, that don't support you, that don't try to understand you. There's no compassion there. All they think about is themselves, and they are so selfish. It is so exhausting. It's so exhausting. And I'll say it, it's so exhausting to deal with angry, immature, manipulative, evil. I don't even want to say men or women, little boys or little girls. Unfortunately, so many people are little boys and little girls. They've never grown up because they've never come face to face with their pain. They've never become accountable and say, I keep making bad decisions. I've been hurting my siblings. I've been hurting my spouse. I've been hurting my friend. I'm not a good role model. I'm not a good person because I'm not doing the right thing. And until you get right with yourself and until you get right with God, nothing good is going to happen in your life. Until you start doing the right thing, God is going to bring some ruination. And let me tell you, I'm only speaking what I know. Until you start doing the right thing, until you start treating the people in your life right, I'm telling you, things will just keep happening to you. You better do right to other people. You better do right to people. And you better get on your knees and pray for forgiveness. And you better hope that the people that you've hurt forgive you. You better hope. See, I always say, I don't want on Judgment Day to have this list of things that I did to other people. I pray for forgiveness for when I was immature and for the people that I hurt. And I say, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I brought this pain. I'm so sorry I brought dysfunction. I'm sorry. And there's a lot of people that don't know how to say they are sorry. They always are blaming other people. You can't be that way your whole life. I understand, when you're young, you're immature, but I'm talking about grown people, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and above, and still they don't know how to say, I'm sorry. They still don't know how to show up for somebody and say, I'm here for you if you need some help. What would this world be if more people would say, do you need something? Can I help you? I'm going to pray for you. And you do it. See, I have so much people behind closed doors I pray for. I pray for people that know me. I pray for people who are my enemies and my haters. See, pray for other people and don't forget to pray for yourself. All right, let's see what I missed. I missed a whole bunch of comments. People don't know how to be there for themselves. I learned that. They don't know how to be there for you. Once I got this, I was able to get people in my life that will support me. See, we have to stop expecting us from other people. See, I had to learn that part. See, we want people to be like us, be supportive, be nice, be kind, and nobody can be you. Nobody can be as beautiful, as smart, as intelligent, as patient, as loving, as kind as you are. You have to receive people for who they are and for what they can be. That's why you have to pray for other people. Pray for other people to be better. Pray for people to make changes in their life. Pray for people to come to God and to love Him and to serve Him. Gio says, family hurt you the most. Oh, yes, that's so sad. It is. Yes, Lovey, 100%. Yes, amen. Keisha says, remember and trust that you are brave and resilient. Yes, you are. Thank you, Keisha. Lovey says, nobody is perfect. We all have our own problems in life. I never judge anyone at all. Life is rough. It is. And we're all going through something. Keisha says, hey there, James Wilson. You share the same name as my favorite uncle. Wow. That's awesome. And I'm sure your uncle was or is a great person. Real Odds and Even says, yes, we can expect us and others. We can hope for it, but not expect it. Yeah, because all people can be is themselves. And then we are the ones that have to make a choice. Do I want to deal with that? Or do I not want to deal with that? See, that is what discernment is in life. Paying attention to that. Okay, do I want to deal with that person or do I want to let that person go? See, I had to learn that forgiveness was for me. And you can forgive people and release them and say, I forgive you for the pain that you brought in my life, but I can't deal with you anymore because I can't trust you, because I know that you're going to hurt me again. Do you all know that part? Do you have people in your life that they'll apologize to you and moments later they do something else? Some people just don't know how to just think about anybody other than themselves. Just a classic immature person, you know? Some people are not well mentally. I'm telling you all, there's so many people that are not well mentally, and we can't do anything about it. All we can ever do is just be ourselves. But I did want to say this to everybody. Don't let it stop you from praying for other people. Don't stop it from loving yourself and being you. See, I wanted to come on this Soulful Sunday and to say this topic, to pray for the people who hate you, to bless them. And I wanted to say, no matter what they do, your enemies, your haters, the jealous people, they're not going to stop you. See, people have said things to me thinking that they're going to break me, but they don't know about the covering of God, that God covers me, He heals me, He supports me, and He is my very best friend. Okay? And nothing can stop that. See, when God has covered you and helped you and healed you, no matter what they say, no matter what they do, they can't stop you. Okay? Keep your head up. Every single one of you, all of my motivators family, do not let the haters, the jealous people stop you from your purpose. Don't stop being you. Don't let anybody take away your smile. You are enough. You are enough. You are loved, you are capable, and you are blessed. Don't let other people take your blessings away from you. Don't let anybody stop you from using your talents and your gifts because of what they think that you should do or you should be. People try to control your life, but don't let them stop you. You say a prayer for them and keep going and get up and shake it off and become brand new. Okay. Every day we get 24 hours. What will you do with the 24 hours that you're given? Will you use it to be happy, to be at peace, to use your talents and your gifts? It's all up to you. Okay. It's all up to you. Keisha says, and lots of narcissistic people try to manipulate you out of your bravery and resilience. Yes. And don't allow them. Don't allow them. No matter what, we can't make people grow up. We can't make people do right by us. And we can't make people like us. There are people who are always going to dislike you. But you just pray for them. And then you say, I've done all I can do. If you don't like me, that's your problem. That's not my problem. Don't let it make your heart race. You don't have to go back and forth with them. Forget them. They're irrelevant. Okay. And people get so mad. People who are your enemies or people who are your haters, they get so mad when they can't get you angry. And that is why I smile all the time, because God has covered me. God has purified me. God has loved me. And if He could help, heal, and fix me and make me be positive after I was such an angry and negative person, that means He can do it for anybody. He can do it for anybody. He did it for me, and He can do it for them, and He can do it for you. Never forget that God loves you very, very much. Don't let your trial, don't let your storm, don't let your struggle, don't let the haters, don't let anybody stop you from being you. Don't let anybody stop you from your blessings. Your blessings still exist, even if a hater doesn't like it, even if people in your life don't support it. That's still your blessing. Go get your blessing. That's yours. Don't give in to the fears or the projections. People will project their fears and their insecurities onto you, and you be like, not my business. Maybe you may think that or believe that, but that's not my belief. See, I'm good over here. It's nothing but blessings and joy and hope and peace. And some people don't possess joy and peace and hope for the future. See, but I have hope for the future. I have blessings. I'm capable, and I speak that over each and every one of you life. You have hope. You have blessings. There's promises that is going to come true in your life, but you have to get your mind right. You have to get your spirit right. You got to heal. You have to forgive people who hurt you. And I know that it's hard. And I know that it's even harder to pray for people who hurt you. See, I had to do that the other day. So I have to pray for them so that they don't disrupt me from my purpose, so they don't get me off track, so I'm not over here screaming and mad and cussing and doing what? Say, I'm better than that. I deserve better than that. And you deserve better than that. There's hope for you. There's promises that's going to come true, but you got to take every obstacle as an opportunity for personal growth. Pray for them. Pray for them and leave them alone. You know? You don't have to, no exchange, and you don't have to bargain. You don't have to get people to believe in you. You don't have to get people to support you or like you. Just be you. Go out there and shine. Best thing in this life is be confident in you. Be confident in your dreams and your abilities and your talents, and don't let anybody stop that. Okay? This has been a good talk and discussion. I appreciate every single one of my Motivators family. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to all my channel members. I appreciate every single one of you. Keep your head up. Be focused in this week ahead. I know there's going to be some challenges, some difficulties. We all encounter people who have negative energy, are complainers, are dramatic, are evil. You just get out of there. Leave them alone. Take a break. pray for the people who try to get you down and try to break you, and then you move on along with your life. And don't forget to pray for yourself. Pray for yourself to have the strength to be a, um, a spiritual woman or be a spiritual man. It takes work to have your faith in action. That takes work. Because I don't know about y'all, because when somebody does something to me, I don't always think that I want to do it. You know, somehow I have a whole attitude. Nope, let them suffer. Let me get back at them. But then I remind myself, no, we're going to do the right thing. Because that's why I always have my blessings. Because even when I have a chance to get even, I don't. I pray for my enemies. I speak blessings over everybody's life. I smile. I smile at my enemies. And I let them know, you can't break me. No matter how much you try, you can't break me. Because God has favor. God has favored me. And God favors those who serve him. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm Marlene Motivates. I am your life coach, and thank you for tuning into Soulful Sundays. Shout out to everybody who was here today and to my replay gang. Thank you so much for replaying. And if you've got this far, drop down in the comment section below. What do you think about today's topic? And don't forget to subscribe, and subscribe. Okay. And I will see my channel members on, I believe, Friday. I think we're going to designate Fridays for members. And I'm going to do another public live, I believe, Wednesday. It may be a late one, maybe like about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we're going to get it together. I'll get you squared away and motivated. I'm Marlene Motivates, your life coach. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a fabulous day. Keep your head up and don't let anybody break you. You have purpose and you have value. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. Blessings to your week ahead. I'm out.